me yet, but I'm hoping to be a part of that show. And anyway, so this is going to be fun. So I'm putting together 5 and 7 day packages to the music festival. I will have it on my website this week. I will have it on our Facebook page, both Peaks Cruises and Tours and your Bucket List Buster Facebook pages as an event. We will be selling tickets to the event. You can get hotel accommodations at one of 3 hotels, and we can help you arrange your flights if you need us to. And this is going to be exciting. I'm going to have Mr. Wolf on the show coming up in the next week or two, and we will discuss the details and talk to him about how he got started doing music festivals and what he hopes to accomplish, and how this will be a new annual event for Panama. And it's going to be super duper fun. I think we will, you'll see. You will see. So I'm going to take another quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk about our destination of the week. We're going to give some love to the Bahamas because they have been really getting hammered. They got hammered, basically, but I need us to step up, folks. And, you know, when destinations get devastated like that, we've all got to do our part. So we want to show them some love today. And we're going to do that. And then, of course, we've got our friends over at the Wireless Traveler. How could I ever forget my number one love and sponsor, the Wireless Traveler, because they have some great information for this week's tech tips. So this is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. I shall be back in a minute.
If you like the sound of vacationing at a 5-star luxury included resort, Sandals has a symphony of romantic indulgences just for you. Sandals hits all the right notes for 2 people in love. Miles of pristine beaches harmonize with beautiful turquoise seas. Love Nest suites are orchestrated with private plunge pools and tranquility soaking tubs for 2. The tempo increases with unlimited land and water sports, including scuba diving and golf. Your taste buds are treated to a rhapsody of 5-star global gourmet dining at up to 16 world-class restaurants, including endless pours of premium spirits and wine, music to anyone's ears. From live entertainment to taxes, tips, and transfers, it's all included, all unlimited, and only at Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts, voted world's best 21 years in a row.
To book your Sandals vacation, contact Peaks Cruises and Tours, 512-529-3696. Welcome back to your Bucket List Buster. Karen Duncan here, your host of the top travel podcast on the air worldwide. At least I think so. Anyway, so we're talking about the Bahamas. The Bahamas got hit terribly by Hurricane Dorian a couple weeks ago, and we know that there's lots of devastation and unfortunately loss of life. But we have to recognize that the Bahamas depends deeply on tourism. And it is a beautiful island, set of islands in the Caribbean, and the cruise lines all go there. There are all-inclusives and wonderful hotels, and just, you know, it's beautiful. The water is absolutely amazingly turquoise and blues and greens, and just, you know, scuba diving, snorkeling. Anything that you can imagine when you think about what your fantasy beach vacation would look like, that's what the Bahamas has to offer you. And they have lots of different personality type islands. You've got the big islands like Nassau and the Grand Bahama Islands, and then you've got the smaller islands like Abacos and Urethra, and, you know, just lots of smaller islands. Lots of celebrities own private islands in the Bahamas and that type of thing. And so it's devastating. And a lot of times when the islands get hit with hurricanes, there's not a lot of places for those people to go. You know, in the United States, when we know a hurricane is coming to the coast, we get in our cars and we drive inland. When you live on an island, you're surrounded by the water. So depending on the size of your island, if the water is rising, the water level is rising, then it can cover the entire island. And everything on it gets destroyed, everyone and everything. And unfortunately, for some of the Bahamas, this is what happens. So the tourism in the Bahamas is a $4.7 billion endeavor. This is what their whole life is about, basically, is tourism, travel and tourism. One of the most popular resorts on the 700 island chain, like Atlantis and Paradise Island and Bahama, which includes the Grand Hyatt, those properties didn't get any damage. All-inclusive hotels like the Warwick Paradise Island and Sandals Royal Bohemian and some of the boutique hotels in the Out Islands were also unaffected on Bimini and Cat Island. But Abacos and Grand Bahama Island, the two islands in the northwest Bahamas, were devastated by Dorian. Many smaller hotels, vacation rentals were damaged or destroyed. And the Ministry of Tourism confirmed last week that all hotels on Abaco and Grand Bahama are closed. So those folks are going to have a long recovery period, and they're going to need help from people all over. And I just say, look into your heart. If you are a traveler specifically, and you know that you like to visit some of these locations on a regular basis, or you've been there once and you've got fond memories, you did your honeymoon there, or you proposed there, or it was a family vacation that you'll remember for a lifetime. Think about if all of us were to donate $5, and that's nothing. $5. Don't go to Starbucks this week and just send the $5 to the Bahamas. We could make a large impact. There are a list of charity organizations that will be helping the Bahamas. If you go to the Bahamas Tourism Authority website page, there is a list. In this way, you can be guaranteed that the money gets to those folks that can help the most people in need. That is what is most important, because you don't want to send money in randomly and then it never gets to the place where we need it to go. The cruise lines are launching Hurricane Dorian relief efforts. A lot of the cruise lines are taking food on their ships. I know some of the ships in the past they've taken the ships there so that people can go in and take showers and have a place to eat and have a place to sleep, because when you think about the fact that they have no homes, and it's hard to get supplies to these places unless you go by ship. There's no airfield for you to fly some of these things in. That's going to be a big deal. Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, which is a cruise line that does weekend getaways to the Bahamas, and you get to stay on the ship and party on the islands. They are doing what they can, since they are specifically a Bahamas cruise line. They are accepting select items at its warehouse in Riviera Beach, Florida. And the warehouse is open 7 days a week from 9 to 3, and currently looking for these particular items: canned goods, building supplies like roofing materials, tar paper, plywood, sheetrock, water, hygiene products, first aid kits, mosquito repellents. Imagine the mosquitoes. Blankets, chlorine tablets, Pampers, wipes, baby food. Think about you as a young mother, a young family with children, young ladies that need feminine products. They need underwear, they need clothes, they need food, they need canned goods, they need stuff that's not going to go bad. And when you put canned goods in there, drop a can opener in the box as well, because we don't think about that. And then how do these people get these cans open? So just think about it from point A to point Z. What would you need? For travelers concerned about the infrastructure in the Bahamas, the majority of the airports and cruise ports, hotels, and attractions throughout the northern, central, and southern Bahamas are open. Despite their heavy hearts, they are still working. They have to work, folks. They can't survive if we take away their tourism. Not only did they get devastated by the hurricane, but then their economic base is gone as well. The Bahamian islands still open for business include Nassau, Paradise Island, the Exumas, Eleuthera, and Harbor Island, Bimini, and Andros. So we need to do our parts. I'm asking everyone in the world to help the Bahamas right now. And when there's devastation in other parts of the world that I can put a call for action and help, I want to be able to do that. I will do that for your part of the world as well. But the folks in the Bahamas are going to need that. And so to piggyback on that, I have a client that's getting ready to go on their honeymoon in the next week. And one of the things that they asked about was what happens in the event, because they're going to the Caribbean. Okay, first and foremost, and I've said this before, I recommend travel insurance. Travel protection protects you from situations like this so that your plans are not totally ruined. Now, they may be postponed, but you may get an opportunity to rebook it and still go within a reasonable amount of time, or we switch the location and you go someplace else. Travel protection is so important. But in the event that you don't have travel protection, when airlines know that they have hurricanes coming to certain areas, they're not going to put their customers in harm's way or their staff. So they start canceling flights. And you heard me announce a couple of weeks ago when they knew that this hurricane was getting close that the airlines will start putting out information on how you can change or postpone your flights because they know that they're not going to be able to fly. So that's one thing. And it's really good to listen to this show because of that. And one of the things that consolidators, I get it working with consolidators, or newsletters or flash news reports about which airlines have put in a policy based on an extenuating circumstance and what customers need to do in order to take advantage of that. So that you can get right here on your Bucket List Buster. The other thing is hotels the same way. They know that it's coming. They're going to lock down. There have been situations where we've been at a sandals resort and they thought a hurricane was coming and they actually lock everybody in place, their visitors and their staff, to keep everybody safe. And they don't want you flying into a storm trying to get to vacation. So they also will accommodate to a certain extent when you cannot get in to have your vacation during a situation where there's going to be a hurricane. Now, it's not going to be as lucrative to you as if you had travel protection, but they will try to work with you so that you don't lose everything that you've invested. But the best and most responsible thing would be for you to get travel protection to make sure that you cover your investment. Because unlike some people in the world that can afford to lose thousands, I cannot. And I want to be able to still have my vacation, to have my cake and eat it too. So with that, this is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. When I get back, we're going to have our tech tips from our friends over at the Wireless Traveler. Yes, we are. And we'll talk about what's coming up in the coming shows for the coming weeks. I will see you in a minute. Karen Duncan here, your Bucket List Buster.
Your Bucket List Buster is sponsored by Peaks Cruises and Tours. PeaksCruisesTours.com.
Welcome back to your Bucket List Buster. Karen Duncan here, your host, and we've got what's going on Telecom Thursday tips with our friends over at the Wireless Traveler. As you all know, we have covered the dangers and risk of using public Wi-Fi many times on our show, especially when you're traveling abroad, and it's so tempting to use hotel Wi-Fi for a quick email or hotel booking. But today we want to focus on how to actually manage your data usage. And again, this is especially critical when you're traveling overseas.